Hello, Cancer. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If Cancer is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Cancer, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. Four of Cups. This is the epitome of your energy, right? It's the moon in Cancer. This should be one of your power cards. We might have to make it so. The Four of Cups is usually someone who is sort of unsure what to do next, or they're not ready to leave the comfort and safety that they've achieved. It's a boat that is anchored in the harbor, just got back from sea, and there was a terrible storm, just got back from a very sort of terrible voyage, and is now safely in the harbor. We're not going to stay here. We know we have to keep sailing again somewhere else, right? Or go back out to sea. But this sort of speaks to your resilience, This speaks to your ability to go through emotionally turbulent times and be perfectly okay on the other side of them. Now, in the middle of them, doesn't feel so good. We don't like being in the storm when we're in a boat, But we know that we're going to get through it, and we know that we're going to be okay. Yeah. And we know we're going to have to go back out and keep sailing again at some point, right? So this is your resilience. Now, I don't know what your situation is just yet, but I feel like you're in this sort of in-between state. It's sort of like you've been down in the storm shelter, and you're just like wondering now, has the storm passed? Is it okay for me to get back out there? Am I ready to get back out there? Am I ready to go upstairs and see what the damage was? Right? Am I ready to go back out to sea, cross my fingers for some good weather? Or do I need to spend more time here healing, resting, recuperating? Okay? We're going to put this card into some context, and we're going to see what else we might be able to learn. Okay? Oh, we got the Empress there. Now, the Empress, very interesting in this situation. The Empress is a great card, right? I wonder if the Empress right now is kind of, it's the safety and comfort of this little harbor, this storm shelter that we're in. It just feels so cozy. We don't want to leave. We don't want to leave the safety and comfort of home. To go sail out in the ocean, there's sharks out there. We've got our Empress energy front and center. Let's see what else we got. Three of Wands. We've got the wide, wide world, right? This sort of is like these are the seven seas out here, right? The whole universe is out there. We do have the Eon card. And we've got more water. Interesting. Very, very cool sort of alignment. We've got the Death card, the Magician. Eight of Cups makes sense. Five of Pentacles. Whoa. I think that's very good. Because the Five of Pentacles is the card of change. We have change here in the spiritual realm. We have change here in the physical realm. I think whatever situation you went through last time, it really, it changed you. I think in a very positive way. It gave you maybe a stronger sense of identity, a sense of purpose. Maybe it puts you in touch with what you really, really do freaking want in life, So the Five of Pentacles, I think, is you sailing back out there into the world and getting this really, really big win, catching that really, really big fish. Yeah. Very, very cool. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor, infinite, and unknown. We're going to set it down right here and put Kevin, a.k.a. Mr. Bates, right there on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together. And it will give us the confirmation that we need. Now, if you have a prediction for that card, please put it in the comments down below. Let's do it together. Let's make it a group exercise in intuition. Now, let's take a look around the room. Major, 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 major. 4 major arcana energies. Very interesting, too, because we see, in some ways, we see kind of a comfort or a stability, and we see a movement. We see, even with the death card, and the death card might be slow, gradual change. But for all intents and purposes, it's kind of it's something that's relatively stable. Let's just say for the moment. But then we've got the Magician, which is movement. Again, right? We have the 8, which is an even number. It's a state of things. It's a form. And we have the 5, which is a odd number. 5 is the number of Mars. It's the number of change. It's movement, right? And even over here, we have the entire universe and you moving within it. We have the 4. Anytime we have a 4, we start looking around for the 5. You're getting ready to set sail again. And maybe the Empress here, maybe this isn't the comfort of home that's just making you feel just, it's like the blankets in the morning, you know, where it's just your bed feels so warm you don't want to get out of bed. You just want to stay in bed all day, you know. But I think that the longer you stay in bed, the more you don't really feel so comfortable anymore. You ever notice that when you oversleep? Kind of, for me anyway, when I oversleep, I get kind of a headache. My joints start to kind of hurt. My back gets kind of sore. I got a hip that kind of gets a little achy, you know. So it may feel good right now, but you know, if we try to force it, it's not going to feel that great. We know we got to get up and move around. It feels good once you start moving around, right? But the Death card is interesting because it is movement. It's slow movement. And in some ways, when we look at the major arcana of the Eon and the Death card, it's kind of like the general energy is, well, slow, gradual movement. But then this is like, I could just go, take a shortcut, right? That I can teleport, that I can fold time and space and arrive at my goal, or I can get there real slow. It's different. Journey by water and journey by instant teleportation, right? Faster than light travel, and this is like I'm going to walk there. Okay. It's almost a tower moment, these two, with the 3 of Wands and the Eon card. We have good major arcana energies, and even the Empress I think is a very good card. I think it can mean that it's partnered up with that 4 of Cups. It just means that we're just really tempted. It's like our bed is just seducing us. Just come back to bed. Just hit the alarm, hit the snooze button, and just go back to sleep for a while. I would love to, trust me. But I think the Empress is also, in some ways, that energy that sort of wants to kick us out of bed and say, go get your big win in life. Go accomplish your goals. Get back out there. You've been through a storm. Go back out there. Maybe another storm, maybe not. You're not gonna get the thing. You're not gonna have this big win, and more than that, if you don't go back out to sea. Right? You think of a sailor who just there's a bad storm. Sailor just gonna go and say, I quit. I'm not gonna sail anymore. I don't like the water. I wonder if you've had maybe a difficult experience with water. I know water's your element. You know, I feel like the ocean really is an important symbol for Cancer. But I wonder if there was something that happened there. Because then I kind of feel like, well, yeah, if you have a bad experience with something, you're not going to want to go do it again. You fall off a horse, maybe you don't want to get on another horse. You have a bad, a terrible experience swimming in a swimming pool when you're a kid, you might stay away from water when you're an adult. you know. Anyway, we've got fire. We definitely have water, water, water. We don't have any air. I think the magician's taken the place of the air energy for us. And then, of course, we have our earth card up here, but the universe is also an earth energy. But we're going to start with the Three of Wands. I feel that you have a very magnetic personality, you know. I feel like you really draw people in. I feel that you have an ability to make everybody feel comfortable. You know, you don't make it awkward for people, you know, that people really enjoy being around you. And I think part of that Four of Cups energy too, with that moon in Cancer as part of your energy. I think you have an ability to make everybody feel sort of safe and cared for and comfortable. And maybe you're the Empress in this situation. You know, maybe you're the one that really kind of wants to take care of everybody else. Maybe you're the one that does make people feel welcome, makes people feel safe and secure and taken care of, makes people feel good. Come on in, I'm going to make you a sandwich, you know, that kind of energy. But maybe that's what's going on here, is that it's time for you now to go and have your adventure. Yeah. That maybe the universe back here is kind of saying that it's time, that it's been a long time coming, that this world has been here sort of calling to you. You know, and we've kind of been in a different energy. Maybe you've literally been taking care of a loved one or family members or something like this, or maybe you've been like taking care of kids or something, right? And there's the opportunity now. I feel like you're at that crossroads. See, we've got the idea of things being crossed right here, right? And I think the fire energy going up, or we can continue the way things have been going horizontally. I don't know. I just think it's your time to make that choice. If you're going to go through this doorway and you know, whatever this is going to be on the other side of this, I feel like this is a different future. You know, I feel like you have kind of two universes, two different timelines that are available to you. And that Four of Cups, of course, is just kind of, we're here in the harbor, you know. We're here in this sort of safe space. And do we go this way or do we go this way? Now, I think through this doorway, this is a doorway of fire, right? It is the Eon card. It's a judgment, a rebirth, a reawakening, a baptism by fire, trial by fire. To go through that doorway, you're going to have to strip away everything that was comfortable to you, and it's just your pure identity, your pure essence going through there. I think you know inside your heart of hearts that there is something deep down that represents you, right? The Three of Wands, very often your identity. It's sort of what you, or who you feel you are inside. Yeah. And it might be now that time in life where you're at that sort of crossroads and it says, I'm going to go after that really big fish. I'm going to go do it. You know, I'm going to go move to Spain or something, you know. I feel like this is a really big deal. I feel like you're at this life-changing crossroads. Your decision right now is going to affect the rest of your life. But it's weird that we don't have any air energy, because I feel like maybe you're not thinking about it, or you're not trying to deliberate. Maybe there is no deliberation needed. Maybe what's going on is just pure will, pure intention. Maybe I shouldn't even be talking to you right now, you know? Maybe we don't want the Swords cards. The more you think about it, the more you're likely to say, oh, that's not a good idea. Right? If we just go, if we just get get our stuff together and we do this thing, whether it's, applying for that big job or taking that big risk or telling somebody how you feel about them or, whatever it might be, however big or however small, is life-changing. But the more you delay, the more you think about it, less likely it is that you're going to do it, because an object at rest stays at rest. A ship in the harbor stays in the harbor until acted upon by some force that compels it to go back out to sea. Okay? And I think that movement is coming from within you. I think that you're feeling it. You're having this feeling of necessity. You're having this sort of, your true self is in there, and it's trying to get out, and it just keeps, it's rattling the cage, And I don't think that you can resist this anymore. I don't think that you can ignore the call. And back here with this universe energy, I feel that you hear that wide universe calling you. Maybe this is the idea of, wanting to relocate. Maybe there's a need for you to, begin a life in a different sort of place. I was feeling Spain, but I'm also feeling like Greece or something like that, somewhere over there anyway. I think there's a connection there, maybe part of your history, maybe it's a place you've always wanted to go. I feel like this is kind of a travel bug for you. I feel like you have this desire to explore the world, and I kind of, I wonder if right now, it almost seems as if it's now or never. Maybe you've been waiting for a sign. Maybe you've been waiting for the resources. I kind of feel that this is a lot of things coming together in alignment. People, places, things, resources, money, right? Waiting for something to happen, everything to kind of fall into place. One day, everything will line up just right, and then I'm off. Maybe this is it. Maybe you are literally at this crossroads where it's just like the universe is not going to give you a sweeter window. A more perfect alignment does not exist. So maybe it's time. And it could be a relocation. It could be starting that business, taking that class. It could be telling that person how you feel. It could be wearing that fun hat, out to dinner. It doesn't have to be some big, grand thing, but it is going to change your life. I think it's going to set off a chain of events, that's going to lead to even more. I think that it's going to instill such it's going to be addicting, right? Following your will becomes, it's very addictive, right? You're following your will with this confidence, and things are working out. And the more you align yourself with that spiritual energy within you, and the more you follow your will, the more the universe sort of, puts those good resources on your path for you. Puts you in contact with the people, places, and things that you need. So it kind of like sets you off on a roll, And I think it is, I think it is opening the doorway for you. And because this is a doorway card, let's do a divine doorway. Let's see if we can give you a little inspiration to go ahead and do this thing. If it's big, if it's little, whatever it is. The sacred lotus, compassion in action, the chosen end. I see now the lotus in your spirit's jewel. Compassion in action, the chosen tool. I see now the lotus in your spirit's jewel. Compassion in action, huh? Okay. Well, that leads us over here. Well, it's both of these, actually. Because we talked about the Empress already, and this sort of the way that you're able to take care of people and make people feel comfortable and people feel safe with you. Maybe the idea here is that compassion in action is sort of, let's take this natural part of your energy, this nurturing, I almost want to say maternal energy. Let's take that and do that big thing that you've always wanted to do, because it seems like it's right up your alley. And then this, I think the Queen of Cups in the future position is kind of you diving in. It's kind of you immersing. Maybe this is that you've always wanted to volunteer somewhere, go work for a certain company, or you always wanted to, I don't know, foster a cat or something. It's something that's compassionate, and it's compassion in action. I think that phrase really sticks with me. This is the emotional transparency. This is you realizing what it is that you are good at. What this water energy in you. You're looking down into yourself and you're admitting who you are and what your nature is. So it's kind of like we're coming to a realization of who we are and why we're here. And I think it has a lot to do with compassion, empathy, being of service, taking care of something. Maybe you're considering a switch into the medical field, or you're going to become a doctor or a nurse or an MA or an NA or an LVN or an NP or all these different numbers and letters, an EMT or whatever. I was an EMT for a short period, and you know what? I'm a solar Cancer. I think it's a Cancer thing. I know a lot of Cancer people who are in the medical field. I think it's a natural gift that we have, that there is, and that to me is compassion in action. But it doesn't have to be medical field, right? It could be anything whereby you are trying to connect and trying to reach other people, okay? But I think you're really, you're being very honest with who you are, and you're just admitting to yourself that, yeah, that's who I am. That's my nature. That's what I'm sort of naturally good at. That's what I take pleasure in doing. And maybe the Three of Wands down here beneath the surface is that you've sometimes been hiding from who you really are. That maybe you have, or maybe you just never put two and two together, because sometimes we have this feeling of who we really are inside, but on the surface, we try to be somebody else, I always wanted to be like a rock star, or a drummer in a band, out on tour or something. But if I'm really honest with myself, I would do horribly on tour, I don't think I could do that. I don't think I would be very good at that. So it's, in a way we have to lift the veil of our own soul and realize what we are meant to do in life and stop fighting it. Time to make that big leap and do it. And for you though, I wonder, we're going to talk about the path of the serpent. We got that Magician card in the environment. So there is some sort of performance kind of thing that I'm feeling for you too, right? As I talk about these cards, I would also like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free. It doesn't cost anything, and it supports the channel, and I appreciate that. We have the Death card as your general energy. There is something that you need to let go of in order to allow yourself to move forward. Maybe we're letting go of our previously held identity. We're letting go of this prejudice that we have against ourselves, thinking that I should be a certain way, or that there's nothing out there for me, or, I fell off the horse once, I don't want to get back on the horse. But I feel like there's something we have to sort of say goodbye to. I feel like we're sort of shedding a skin here. And it feels like it might be that previous identity. But then I also wonder if there's something else that has changed in your life that's sort of like, if you look at it the right way, it's opened up the door for you. Okay? For instance, maybe a long-term relationship has ended. It's terrible. It's sad. I don't want you to go through that. But if we look at it the right way, we can see that maybe it's a key to the future. Everything's about perspective. It's all perspective. Maybe that event, that situation ending, maybe you lost your job, Maybe that is meant to be a catalyst toward change, catalyst of change. Is the universe saying, here's your opportunity. Here's your fiery doorway of the Eon card. It's now or never. Right? Now or never. So this is slow, gradual change. But I think that The Eon card in this case with the Three of Wands is acting as that punctuation, that exclamation point. Right? That it is, you're kind of being given a different route here. And this could be that we thought our life was very stable and steady, going along a certain path, a certain chronological order, on a certain timeline, right? And we could have just been expecting that. But then here now is this opportunity that says, hey, wait, you can take this detour. You can hit the switch on the train tracks and, go on the different whatever track thing. And the Magician in the environment, I think it might just be part of who you are, I feel that this is, again, this sort of charisma out in the environment. This is like people just love to be around you. This is your ability to establish rapport with people. The Magician is your ability to adapt. It's also your interface with the outside world, your personality in a way. And so I feel like you're really able to put on whatever sort of face you need, whatever sort of mask you need in a situation. This is the card of the method actor, right? This is one that can take on any role and can immerse themselves in this and completely identify with this role until it becomes their whole identity. And I sort of feel, in conjunction with the Death card, that this is the opportunity that Spirit's giving you to take off an old mask and put on a new one that might be more in line with who you feel you are right now. It's still a mask. We all wear masks. Even when we think we've taken them all off, it's like a Scooby-Doo episode. You take one mask off, there's just mask after mask after mask. They just keep coming. You never get, when you get to the bottom, what do? You get the fool. You get nothing, right? So we're always wearing a mask. And maybe the idea here is we can invent ourselves any way we want. You can be whoever, whatever you want. You can choose your mask. You can choose your role, your costume. And I guess when you get to a certain point in your career, they let you start choosing your own roles rather than auditioning or whatever. But I feel like it's time for you to sort of reinvent yourself in a way that is more in tune with how you feel and with when you're radically honest with yourself. This is radical self-acceptance, radical self-love. Reinventing yourself based on that, based on who you really feel you are inside right now. Like I said, okay? It's very, very interesting. The next card, especially the Eight of Cups, this is the card we don't want. When we're over here, we don't want that. When we're in a Four of Cups, Empress sort of energy, yeah, we don't want the Eight of Cups at all. I don't want to feel. This is like, I want to stay in bed all day. I don't want to get the aches and pains of staying in bed. No, I don't want to get the headache. No. I don't want that card. I want to just feel the luxury of my bed for as long as I can. But we all know that at some point we need that, because that's your body telling you, you've been in bed too long. You got to get up and do something, So then eventually we realize, okay, I didn't want this before. Now I realize I need it. And this is something that's been developing on this channel. See, these are life readings. The Dove and Serpent spread is a living, breathing thing. Okay? And over time now, this card here, I've come to realize that when we're talking on the path of the Dove, this is the card position of the energy we don't want. But once we get over here, we realize we need it. And so over here, we didn't want the Eight of Cups. Now we know we need it, because this is, again, it's the body's way of saying, you've been in bed too long, you got to get up and move around. Okay? Because this is that sort of uncomfortable feeling. This is that icky sort of achy, well, nothing's really wrong, but I just don't feel good. I feel like I need to move. I don't know if I doubt I'm the only one that has this experience, but sometimes you just get in this weird place. It's this kind of a spiritual, subtle sort of thing. It's not really a physical feeling. It's not really an emotional thing. It's something that's more subtle than even those, but it almost is that kind of, that weird, icky feeling, or that weird, I want to say achy kind of feeling, but it's not really a physical sensation. That just sort of lets you know that you gotta move. You gotta get up and go somewhere, right? Maybe it's a gut feeling. Maybe it's an intuition. I don't know what it is. But when I was a kid, it used to show up as it used to appear to my mind's eye as if my vision was covered by like a black paper, but it was all crinkled up. And then, if you ball up a sheet of paper and then you flatten it back out again, it looked like that, but it was black and gray, right? And it was sort of overlaid my spiritual vision. And that was kind of this weird constrictive energy that I knew I had to get out of. I knew I had to move, And I feel like this is the card we need. This is what we need right now. We need that energy that says, you gotta move, right? It's something that compels you to get up and take action. Of course, we've got the card of change here with the 5 of Pentacles coming next. I feel that this is you getting up and getting out of bed and doing it. Reinventing yourself, right? This is you just making changes. Yeah, maybe you're saying, I'm going to go get my hair cut. I thought about cutting my hair. I mean, look at it. It needs it. And it's not to say that we're doing something impulsive. It's not like we just get this fiery energy and it's like, I'm going to go shave my head today. I've been there, done that. But no, it's part of a more calculated kind of thing. You're saying, okay, I'm going to get up. I got to make some changes. I want to cut my hair a little bit short. I'm going to cut a couple inches off. I'm going to change my wardrobe around a little bit. I'm going to go and, apply for some different jobs, or I'm going to go audition for that acting gig. I'm going to try to be in a couple commercials or something, or, I'm going to go apply for that, that position that I've seen in the newspaper for weeks now. I'm going to go, to school, or I'm going to go whatever. I don't even know. Making those changes, saying, well, I'm finally going to get to cleaning out the basement or the garage. I'm going to get rid of all that old stuff that I don't need anymore that I've been hanging on to. I feel like this is really cleaning house. It's really implementing a lot of changes, both in our physical environment and in our behavior. I'm gonna finally get out of that habit I have of oversleeping in the morning, or having ice cream too late at night. Yeah, that's my problem. I'm gonna make some changes here. In a very willed effort, an intentional effort to build ourselves up, to go through this doorway. And I think there is kind of like one thing right now that's gonna set this whole thing in motion again. I feel like it's gonna snowball. It's the one thing that's going to unleash all of this other stuff. Yeah. It's getting kind of long. Let's look at the mystery card. I do hope you'll join me for the extended reading today. If you don't want to watch them here on YouTube, you can go to the website and sign up over there, doveandserpenttarot.com. Stay tuned over there too, because eventually there's going to be that the tarot reading course that I've been talking about for a while now. Sort of some instructional content that I'm working on for the website. Yeah. Mystery card, I want something happy, right? I want a 9 of cups, 10 of cups, 9 of pentacles, 10 of pentacles. I want maybe another Empress energy or another Magician card, perhaps. Let's see what we have. The Hermit. Okay. The Hermit's a card of going within. The Hermit is a card, too. What I really like to say about the Hermit is that this is you going off trail. Yeah. This is you. Now, the Hermit could follow the easy path down the road, right? Could follow the path that, is there already. It's already been paved, right? Wouldn't need a lamp. You got streetlights. You know, you got houses, you got other people walking there. You don't need a flashlight. But the hermit's going off trail. The hermit's saying, I'm going to go find my own road. Or even better, where we're going, we don't need roads, right? We do need our light because no one's been there before. This is a completely new path. This is you finding the Tao of you, finding your own Tao, your own path, your own way, right? There is no one way for everybody. Everybody has their own way, right? Their own identity, their own style, their own personality, their own spirit and soul. And this is you following yours wherever it's going to take you. It doesn't have to be coherent right now. It doesn't have to be understood by anybody. It's something that maybe you will discover and something that will evolve over time for you, right? It's not that we're just going to, one day, I'm going to cut my hair, I'm going to change my clothes, I'm going to start talking in a different way, I'm going to learn a different language, I'm going to be a different person. I'm going to get different glasses, I'm going to change my face, you know? Those changes aren't overnight. So it's not that we have to do a million things at once and say, okay, I've reinvented myself. No, it's a gradual thing. That's part of the death card too, is that slow and steady change. I do think there's one thing that kicks it off, and that really is that step that you take where you finally stop, you turn to the side, and you take that first step off trail. That's the beginning, right? And then from there, I think, you know, step after step, and things are going to continue to grow and change for you. Very interesting reading. I like this very much. We are going to do an extended if you want to stick around. Link up top. There's a link down below. New readings for Cancer, Tuesdays and Fridays. Be sure to watch both readings, okay? If you have not subscribed to the channel yet, please do. It is totally free. It doesn't cost anything. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you, and we're all in this together. And I just noticed that that candle is just about out, and we had lighting problems last time we were here, right? There's something going on with you, Cancer. Anyway, stay tuned for the extended reading.